So light is an electromagnetic wave, and it has also a particle nature. So it has both natures, particle and a electromagnetic. Okay. So it has particle nature as well as wave nature. So this wave nature was given by Huygens. Okay, Huygens was a scientist, a Danish scientist, who gave that light is a wave. It has wave nature. Okay, it travels like wave, and Newton gave this concept that light is a particle. Okay, and you know that there is a difference between particle and a wave. Particle is a localized. It has specific momentum and energy at certain place. It is, for example, if this is particle, this is a specific location, this is a specific location. But you know that wave is straight like this. Okay? So wave is not localized at certain place, but it rather spreads out in the space. So there is a difference between wave and a particle. But light has dual nature. Sometimes in some experiments it behaves like particle, and in some experiment it behaves like wave. So it has both natures. It is particle and it is wave as well as. Okay, when it is traveling, it is wave. When it strikes, interacts with matter, it acts like a particle. Okay. So this was also concept. Newton was wrong in this concept. Newton gave that uh, speed of speed of electromagnetic wave is more in medium than in vacuum. Means when light travels in another medium, glass or any other medium, its speed is more as compared to in vacuum. Okay, that was a wrong concept. This concept was given by Newton, and Huygens said that speed of wave is more in vacuum than in medium. But this could be obtained from his formulas. Okay, from the Huygens formula, Huygens principle. Okay.
Sir,
Yes. Okay. So we also derived this expression in previous lecture, that speed of light is equal to given by this formula. Okay, in vacuum it is function of only mu naught and epsilon naught. Okay, so c is the speed of light in vacuum. That is given by approximately equal to 3 into 10 raised power 8 meter per second. Okay, but when a light travels in another medium, then you can see that when electric field enters into another medium, then we give a constant. Our magnetic field, when interacts with another medium, then we give a constant. These mu naught and epsilon naught are only for space. Okay, these are for space. When light is traveling in space or vacuum, sorry, you can call it as a vacuum. So this is for only vacuum. Okay. But when light enters into another medium, this is only for this when this is only for vacuum. We are using mu naught and epsilon naught. But we when light enters into another medium, for example glass or water or any other medium, then or any dielectric medium, then this is also this mu naught is replaced by multiplied by this term dielectric constant. This is known as constant, dielectric constant. Okay, constant. Km for magnetic materials. Okay, so means magnetic field interacts with that material, means that also depend on different materials. Km is different for different material, and a Ke is a electric constant. Okay, dielectric constant for electric field means when electromagnetic wave enters into another medium such as glass or water, means Ke also is multiplied with the epsilon naught. Okay, so now in any other medium, means speed is changed. How much speed is changed? It depends on the value of that Ke, means kappa, electric dielectric constant. For it has different values. We have already discussed that its value for water is 80, but here electric field is changing. In that case electric field was constant in electrostatic, but here electric field is changing, so Ke value will be different than that Ke value that we discussed in electrostatics. Okay, and the Km value here will be not much importance because uh, the almost all the materials that transmit the light are non-ferromagnetic material. This Km is only for means more important for those materials which are ferromagnetic materials. So for ferromagnetic material, its value is very large for Km. Okay, so this is dielectric material constant for the when light enters into any material. Okay, yes.
सर ये फेरोमैग्नेटिक क्या है?
फेरोमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल जो मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल्स होते हैं वो तीन टाइप्स के मटेरियल्स होते हैं, ठीक है। एक होता है फेरोमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल, दूसरा होता है पैरामैग्नेटिक मटेरियल, तीसरा होता है डायमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल्स। मतलब वो मटेरियल्स इस तरह से मतलब वो कैटेगराइज किए गए कि हाउ मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इंटरेक्ट्स विद देम। एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जब किसी फॉर एग्जांपल हम आयरन यूज करते हैं ट्रांसफार्मर के कोर में, ठीक है, कोर जो होता है ट्रांसफार्मर का वो हम आयरन यूज करते हैं। आयरन क्यों यूज करते हैं हम? क्योंकि व्हेन magnetic field is produced by the coil, it is it becomes more strong when we put iron। तो इसको हम आयरन को कहते हैं फेरोमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल, क्योंकि इसमें मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल जो होता है वो बहुत ज्यादा मजबूत बन जाता है, स्ट्रांग बन जाता है, ठीक है, जब व्हेन वी प्लेस एनी आयरन इनसाइड अ कॉइल, ठीक है। तो इसी तरह मतलब वो फेरोमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल जो आयरन है वो फेरोमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल है। ये मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल के टाइप्स हैं, ठीक है।
यस सर।
Okay, so now you can replace this mu naught with this and epsilon naught with when light enters into another medium. So now this C becomes this V medium, means in any medium speed of light now becomes this, okay, because you know that C is equal to this. 1 over mu under root mu naught epsilon naught. So now you can find value of speed of light in any other medium by this formula. Okay, if you know km and a ke, okay, km and a ke are constants, and they are a strong function of frequency and a wavelength. Means strong frequency light speed is different from uh, the light with low frequency. Yes,
सर
yes.
सर फिर ये जो v मीडियम वाला फॉर्मूला है, इसमें जो c है तो इसमें हम c के जो आपने ऊपर ये बताइए वैल्यू ये पुट करनी है।
जी जी जी।
c
सी का
इज इक्वल टू
ये 1 over अंडर रूट म्यू नॉट एप्सिलॉन ये पुट करना है, ठीक है।
ये वैक्यूम वाली,
जी जी वैक्यूम वाली, ये सी का वैल्यू है, ये आपको पुट करना है। ये अगर आप यहाँ पे पुट करेंगे, ठीक है, इस जगह पे देखिए
yes.
यहाँ पे v देना चाहिए, ठीक है, यहाँ पे v होना चाहिए, ठीक है, यहाँ पे v रखेंगे आप। अब ये जो इसका ये जो वैल्यू है, दिस वैल्यू एंड दिस वैल्यू, ठीक है, ये अगर आप पुट करेंगे तो इसका वैल्यू ये सी होगा, ठीक है। Okay, so now when the light that travels into any medium is function of frequency. Okay, it is function of frequency. So different frequencies have different. Yes, Ikra.
सर ये इक्वेशन वाला थोड़ा दोबारा
जी जी,
सर ये सिंपलीफिकेशन समझ नहीं
आवाज ही नहीं आ रही, प्लीज जी।
सर सी।
Okay, our next topic is reflection and refraction. We discussed that these are properties of light, propagation of light. So we will discuss the properties of light, and these properties are given with by reflection and a refraction. So we also said that there are 3 laws. Okay, law of reflection. First law is law of reflection, and the second is the law of reflection, and the third we will discuss later. Okay, so you can see that in first law of reflection, when light enters, this light enters, this is a beam of incident I. There are 2 mediums. This medium means we have 2 medium. For example, this is water, okay, and this is air, okay, and it has refractive index n1 and it has refractive index n2. Okay, when light enters from air to water at certain angle, okay, so refraction occurs when the light strikes at certain angle with the normal. We will draw the point at which it strikes with the interface between water and the air. We will draw a surface line. That line is known as normal in. Okay, so we will draw angle theta 1 at that. Okay, so when light enters into second medium, it refracts, it changes direction. Okay, so when light, this is incident beam and this is refracted beam, okay, and this is theta 1 that incident beam makes with the normal is hypothetical, okay, and this is theta 2 that reflected beam makes with this normal, okay, and Also one beam is reflected also. So when light strikes boundary between water and air, so some light is reflected back in the same medium, and other light is reflected into the second medium. Okay. Okay, so this is law of refraction. So law of refraction says that n1 sin theta, n1 is a refractive index of medium 1, and a sin theta theta 1 is the angle that incident ray makes with normal, and a n2 is refractive index of second medium. Okay, this is second medium. The refractive index of that second medium is n2, and n1 is refractive index of first medium. Okay, so it says that n1 sin theta 1 equal to n2 sin theta 2. Okay, you can also write it as sin theta 1 divided by sin theta 2, always equal to, okay, n2 over n1. Okay, so n1 is refractive index of air, so that is equal to 1. Okay, and a refractive index of water, for example, if it is traveling into water, if this medium second medium is water, okay, so it is refractive index is 1.33. So you can say that ratio between sin theta 1 over sin theta 2 is equal to 1.33 over 1, and that is 1.33. Okay, so when light travels from air to water, then this ratio is fixed, that is given by 1.33. Okay, so you can find also value of sin theta 1 in a sin theta. If sin theta 1 is given, you can find sin theta 2 refracted angle, and if refracted angle is given, you can find sin theta 1. Okay, these two angles are directly proportional to each other. If you increase sin theta 1, then this angle will also increase. Okay, so theta 2 will also increase, but when theta 1 reaches 90 degree, okay, theta 2 is maximum, refracted angle is maximum. Okay, means when this angle becomes parallel to the surface of water, then this refracted angle becomes maximum. Okay, and we call that angle as a critical angle. Okay, okay, so value of n is means speed of light value depend on the value of n. For example, refractive index, one thing they tell you is that how much it bends into another medium, but it also tells you how much many times speed of light is greater in vacuum than in another medium. For example, if speed of if n's value is 1.33 for water, it means speed of light is 1.33 times greater in vacuum than in water. And other thing that it tells is that it is 1.33 times slower in water than in vacuum. क्या समझ में आ रही है बात कि n का वैल्यू जो है ये बताता है कि कितनी स्पीड ऑफ लाइट जो है मतलब एक मीडियम के लिहाज से दूसरे मीडियम में ज्यादा है या कम है। तो 1.33 वैल्यू जो है ये वाटर के लिए, इसका मतलब है कि वाटर के अंदर जो स्पीड ऑफ लाइट होगी इतना टाइम्स वैक्यूम से कम होगी, ठीक है, और वैक्यूम में इतना टाइम वो ज्यादा होगी एज कंपेयर टू वाटर। Okay, refraction occurs because of speed of light changes from one medium to another medium. Refraction occurs for all electromagnetic waves. It can occur for microwaves, it can occur for X-rays, it can occur for all kind of electromagnetic waves. Okay, and second, that is Huygens principle. We will discuss. Next topic is the Huygens principle. Okay. So Huygens principle, Huygens assumes that light is a wave. Okay, light is a wave. It does not give any electromagnetic nature of the light. He used only geometry. Okay, he did not know that light, what kind of light is. He did not know nature of light. What is the nature of light? Okay, so light is a, he only just assumed that light is a wave and he gave a principle on the basis of geometry. Okay, so according to his principle, you know that a surface on which light has constant phase, that is known as wavefront. What is wavefront? Wavefront is a surface. For example, this is a wavefront. Wavefront. Okay, a wavefront means wave's front part, leading part of wave. Okay, so leading part of wave is known as wavefront. Okay, so you can take meaning from this word wavefront. Front means leading part. Yeah. So wave's front part is known as wavefront. So for example, he assumed that light travels in wavefronts, and a wavefront, each wavefront, for example, 8 time t0, this is wavefront, and each wavefront has different points. These are points. Okay, these points, these are source points for the secondary wavelets. So these points produce secondary wavelets. These are secondary spherical wavelets that are produced on the wavefront. So this is, for example, wavefront, plane wavefront, and it has point on each point, sources at each point. So these sources produce spherical wavefront, secondary wavelets. Okay. These wavelets decide the coming wavefront, means next wavefront. Okay, so these wavelets, these are secondary wavelets that are produced by the point sources on the wavefront. So these wavelets are means they have maximum to minimum intensity. So they only move in forward direction. They have zero value in the backward direction. Okay, so in this direction their intensity is zero, but their intensity is maximum in forward direction. So only wavefronts travel into forward direction, and their value is very low at different angles. Okay, so new wavefront is created at later time due to secondary wavelets. These secondary wavelets are produced by these primary sources on first wavefront. This is first wavefront, and this is next wavefront. This wavefront, new wavefront, is formed. This new wavefront is formed because of secondary wave. For example, this is initial 8 time T0 initial wavefront. This produces secondary wavelets. Okay. Then tangent to this, these secondary wavelets, a new wavefront is formed. And the distance between one wavefront to another wavefront is ct, means speed of light and the time. Okay, so we also discussed that in backward part of means spherical only wave travel in forward. So direction of travel is perpendicular to the wavefront. Okay, so this is direction of wave, and each point is source for secondary wavelet. These each that is produced by sources. These are sources. Okay, source points that produce these secondary wavelets. Okay, that zero in backward direction, zero in backward direction, so you can see here that here it is written that zero in backward and a maximum in forward direction. So it means that it is okay. So zero in backward and a maximum in forward. So here you can see that intensity in backward direction in secondary wavelet is zero and maximum in forward direction. And on the basis of this principle, Huygens principle, you can also define you can also define this reflection. Okay, so reflection, you can define reflection on the basis of Huygens principle. So in Huygens principle, when light comes in secondary wavelets, so these secondary wavelets, when light hits For example, this is point of hitting. You can see that first light hit when light uh, strikes with any surface. So first it strikes with this point. First these wavelets, this part of uh, this part of wavefront strikes with the boundary, and then this part of wavefront strikes. So first light the wave when it strikes the boundary, at boundary light, new sources of light are produced. These sources produce new secondary wavelets, and you can see these secondary wavelets produce another, and this produces new wavelets. So when light from above comes and it strikes surface, and at surface new sources of light are means the points of wavefront acts like new source, and they produce new secondary wavelets, and these secondary wavelets travel and reflect back, and that shows reflection of the light according to the principle of Huygens. Okay, so according to Huygens, V2 is less than V1. V2 means speed in second medium. Okay, and V1 means in first medium, means air. You can say air or any other medium. Okay, so any other medium, second medium and the first medium. So V2 is smaller than V1. So you can write V2, divide V2 by V1. You know that velocity of a wave is given by lambda into frequency. Okay, so if you put V2 by lambda 2, and if frequency is same in both mediums, frequency does not change in water and in vacuum. So both have same value. In second medium, lambda will be lambda 1 and a frequency f. So f change because frequency in both medium is same. So V2 over V1 equal to lambda 2 over lambda 1. Okay, so this is formula V2 over V1 equal to lambda 2 over lambda 1. Okay, also you can write lambda 2 is given by this. Okay, if your one medium is vacuum, okay, so you can write lambda 2 is V over C, because V1 is equal to C, and V2 is equal to V. So if you put in this equation, you can see that lambda 2 equal to V over C is equal to 1 over N, because N is equal to C over V. Okay, so 1 over N will be equal to V over C. So you can put here at this location 1 over N. So lambda 2 becomes lambda 1 over N. So when you are in second medium, your wavelength also changes by N. So lambda 2 decreases. Lambda 2 is smaller than lambda 1 by factor of N.